Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Double Tap on YouTube. I am Stephen Scott.
And I am Shaun Preece. Hello.
Hello, Shaun. Now, we've been talking about CSUN quite a bit here on YouTube, and of course, it's an incredible event. Lots of great opportunities to learn about big companies, small companies, lots of interesting new tech as well. And I wanted to focus in today on two particular companies that perhaps wouldn't get the spotlight. You know, everyone tends to talk about the big tech companies that are there. One, for example, that everyone's been excited about is Glidance. We spoke to Amos Miller, of course, the developer of that, the founder of that company, on Double Tap over on The Daily Show. And everyone seems really excited by that product. The idea of this kind of device being built by a blind person. I think, if I'm honest, that's a big part in its not success, because it isn't out yet, so we don't know if we can say success. But the interest in it, I think that's true. There's a lot of interest in it because a blind guy actually invented it. Hurrah! And he knows the deal, right? He knows what we need. He knows what we would be looking for in that kind of device.
At least that's the impression
I got. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And this sort of technology isn't unique. Basically, since the arrival of the self-driving car technology, everyone's been trying to squeeze this down and throwing it on us in some form or another. So this isn't new by any means, but it's all about trying to work out which form factor works best for us, where we wear it on our head, around our waist as a belt, strap it to our chest, or in front of us in the case of Glidance. But the point of this case is that as a blind person has come up with this, we're hoping for great things from this one.
Well, our reporter Tim was out at CSUN for us, and he got the chance to catch up with a couple of companies. And, you know, it's interesting because the debate we've been having over on our daily show is around the best use of resources when it comes to investment into research into new mobility aids. And one of the debates, which we're going to continue here on YouTube in a couple of episodes' time, I want to talk about this in more detail. You know, what are we looking for from new smart technology? And CC in Montreal got in touch with us to say, you know what, I wish companies would just come up with a better idea, a simpler idea, arguably, which is to make a really strong white mobility cane, right? Just make a really strong one that can last, you know, more than someone standing on it and it's snapping or the elastic breaking or whatever it might be. And I thought that was really interesting. And it put me in mind of one particular company who Tim spoke to for Access Tech Live, our TV show. And it's AwareWolf, the company behind the all-terrain cane.
I am Deborah Epstein, and I am the Chief Marketing Director for Werewolf Gear. We are developers of super strong, durable canes that is a cross between a trekking pole and a mobility cane for the blind. My husband himself has retinitis pigmentosa, so he's mostly blind, and he wanted to stay hiking on the trails of Sedona, Arizona. So he needed something that was going to be able to support him on the trails, keep him safe, and visible and mobile. The all-terrain cane is what we started out with. It has a 16-inch grip. It has a flip lock with an adjustable handle. It's made out of titanium, and it's super strong joint made out of stainless steel. So if you're out just with a hiking stick or a trekking pole, it can't feel the terrain. Blind people need to be able to hear what's going on in the terrain, like the rocks, the smoothness. They need to feel it, hear it, and experience it in a different way than a sighted person. Also, what our cane does is allow any oncoming hikers to see that there's something different here. This person isn't just like me and can see. I need to have a little extra support and a little extra visibility. It's made to support your weight, which is something they tell you immediately in O&M instruction, not to lean on your cane, not to use your cane for support. And this is like breaking that paradigm because we want you to lean on it. You can find us at awarewolfgear.com and you can purchase there.
So there you go, Shaun. That is the answer to all of our problems. No more broken canes. You've got one you can climb mountains with if you want.
Well, I mean, you could argue like it's a different thing altogether than what we've been looking at previously when I was talking about Glidance and everything else. We've seen Lumin, We Walk Cane. Well, you know, so many we've seen already. But the fact of the matter is, I think that this is far more actually usable or practical in our community than that tech. Of course, we're looking for tech to solve some sort of problem or answer some questions or however you want to put it. But actually, a cane that doesn't snap or is more durable is far more of interest to me than anything else at this minute.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no tech here, right? I mean, the tech is perhaps in the design, in the
material
R&D that
science.
Goes into it. Exactly.
Stephen Scott.
Yes, thank you. But that's the actual end device is not tech, and I have to be honest, that does appeal to me. If I'm honest, kind of like the idea of this not being particularly tech focused for once, and it actually being something that is practical, that is usable. And again, this was designed and developed by a blind guy. Very interesting story. Thanks to Deborah Epstein for telling us about the product, and we look forward to hearing more about it in the future. I'm quite keen to get my hands on one of these, actually. There's a few new types of canes out there. I'm kind of keen to try the no-jab cane as well. That's also quite interesting, where it has like a spring inside at the handle. And so if you accidentally... Yeah, exactly.
We could joust each other. That'd be great. There's a whole new game we come up with.
Get that into the Paralympics immediately.
Blind joust. That should be
blind jousting. Yeah. I'd end up taking out probably my other eye with that result.
It's true, though, because when you think about it, if you look at something like the cane, which has been around for the longest time, and with good reason, because it works so well, but you think there are some things that I think, we maybe should look at again. Why can't we have a height adjustable cane? Why have we got to pick a certain height when we buy the cane? Why can't it be adjustable? Is the folding segments the way it does that? Is that the best way we can do it with today's technology, with today's engineering? Is there a better way? I'm forever trying to unhook or fold up my cane when I'm trying to get in a taxi or something. And if it's cold or if it's been raining and my hand's slipping on it, you can't force it apart and you end up jumping in the taxi with half a cane folded up. I mean, is there a better way to keep it clean once you've been, waving it around on the floor? Is there a way to keep it cleaner so you haven't always got to chuck your cane on the floor? The tip would retract somewhere where it wouldn't be in contact with somewhere else. I think there is... These are things that we should look at, and maybe it's another. It's time we look at the cane again, but not from let's bolt a smartphone camera to it. Just a different way.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% on that. And staying with the practical tips, because this is another thing, right? It's about sometimes having tools that can help us do things. So we have heard of so many apps out there for various functionalities. I mean, for blind people. Be My Eyes, Ira, Seeing AI. These are staples in our smartphone diet, arguably. These are apps that we use every day, and they're fantastic. But then you think about low vision and people who are trying to use their smartphone, say, as a magnifier. What tools are out there to actually make that possible? Because it's not always easy to hold your phone over a document all the time, try and use the app, and also read whatever it is you're trying to read at the same time. You don't want to have your fingers on the device as you're trying to read something, right? So this is where this company, Case for Vision, came in. Let's hear from Igor from the company who explains more about the product they were showing off at CSUN this year.
My name is Igor Feinberg. I'm managing partner of Case for Vision, LLC. We created a product from an idea that evolved from about 10-15 years ago. And the product is a combination of a hardware protective case for iPhone, smart or any other smartphone, and our own proprietary application, which is also called Case for Vision. This is a case for a smartphone that enables you to magnify text or see objects in the distance. Our product is very, very easy to use. All you have to do is put your own phone into Case for Vision, open the legs, and use it as a stand above any printed material you want to view, magnify, or pan live image, so you don't have to move printed material under the camera. You can also change the contrast, and you can zoom in on any part of the text. You can freeze the image, you can save the image, and it saves into your library on your own phone, and then you can share that with your friends or family. The other side of the Case for Vision would have a little lever which, when engaged, enables a mirror, optical mirror, to see at a distance, and it becomes at 45 degrees. The distance viewing is a very useful feature. You can see a student in a classroom can see the whiteboard or blackboard and record what's going on a whiteboard or blackboard.
So there you go, Case for Vision showing off their product, which again is a simple idea, but really practical. And I think in some ways that's the thing that you kind of miss at CSUN when you're not there in person. You miss all these kind of really cool practical tools that are available because they don't get the headlines. They're not going to, TechCrunch isn't going to write about Case for Vision. With all due respect to the people at Case for Vision, it's not that kind of device people are going to talk about. But that's why we're here, right? We can talk about it and we can shine a light on it. So first off, thanks to Tim for going around and speaking to all these people. Yeah. Of course, more of that you can catch up with and all of our reporting over on Access Tech Live. You can find that on AMI TV, AMI Plus, and of course here on YouTube as well. Just search for Access Tech Live. You can catch up with all the episodes. We've had some really interesting conversations on a wide range of pan-disability topics. Check out Access Tech Live here on YouTube and, as I say, on AMI Plus. But this is why we want to talk about these kind of devices, because there are things. I remember once there was a device called the Giraffe Stand, which kind of did similar to this. And it was built, I think, for Seeing AI at the time, or maybe an OCR app. I can't remember. It was built for a purpose.
Maybe it was KNFB Reader back in the day. That was the king of the hill.
I think you're right, yeah.
And it's something as simple as, it's just something which holds the smartphone in the right position over somewhere where you place a document. I mean, it's as low tech as that, but it just makes the whole process easier because everything's in place. You don't have to move the phone around, make sure everything's in frame because it's positioned in exactly the right position.
And I think people might think, well, surely there must be something on Amazon you could buy that could do this, right? Because that's the thing. You immediately jump online, you think there must be an answer out there. But there often isn't for this kind of category because these are not apps that everyone is using all the time. These are not apps for everyone. And again, the other thing here is, okay, we're talking about low vision people, but there's lots of people in that category and could find benefit. There's lots of people who might be using their smartphone camera for other purposes. They may want to be able to just have their phone just hovering over the desk, not flying flat on it. Lots of reasons to like these products. Anyway, that was just a little snapshot into a couple of other products that were spotted by our Tim while he was at CSUN. I thought we'd share with you today on YouTube. So keep in touch. Drop us a comment below. We'll continue our conversations. I'm going to be getting into this subject of what we want from our mobility aids going forward. Snapping, as you say, a smartphone onto it isn't the answer to our problems, I don't think. But what do we want? What do we need? So we'll maybe get into that in a future episode. Comment below, and of course, email us feedback@doubletaponair.com. You can always find us on social media as well. Just search for Double Tap, and we'll catch you again soon. Thank you, Shaun.
Thank you. Bye-bye.